yourself with the Jim Crow laws. Does anyone know what the Jim Crow laws are? Or do they know what they're about? Great, it does. It has something to do with rights. Wonderful. Ian? No, you can't read them to me. Okay, so if you do not have the background knowledge or the schema, you can read this little blurb that we have, and it says the Jim Crow laws, and it gives an example and a summary of what they are. Okay? Once you do that, you will click on the QR code with an iPad. This QR code does not work. So we have this one that does. So are you going to scan this one?
No.
Scan this one. Okay, so you're going to scan it with an iPad and use, as a group, watch the video. You might not have time to finish it all, and you definitely do not have time to watch it twice. But you'll watch the video, and then it says you'll read the poem, Merry-Go-Round. So this is the Merry-Go-Round poem that you'll read. Then there are questions on the back. These questions are about the video and the poem. So you need to, for sure, familiarize yourself with the Jim Crow laws, watch the video, and read the poem. The first question says, who is the speaker of the poem? How does the poem relate to Jim Crow laws? Describe the speaker's struggles.
Okay, so this has been one of the most difficult questions today. What is a struggle?
Struggle is something that you can barely get through. It's something hard.
Okay, something that's
It's a
hard,
challenge.
difficult, a challenge. Could it be a physical challenge?
Yes.
Could it be a mental challenge?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so after you read that poem, you need to think about, what is this speaker about to do? What is his challenge? What is he struggling with? It could be mental, it could be physical. And then the next question is asking you, what type of conflict is it? Okay? Is it man versus man? Is it man versus himself? Man versus society? Can it be more than one? Sometimes can a conflict? Absolutely. So if you think it is, write that, but be sure to tell us why. When it's talking about this speaker, each time it says the speaker, you think it's talking about the narrator of the video?
No.
No, it's the speaker of the poem. The video that you're going to watch is a reenactment of Rosa Parks' arrest. Okay? Are you guys familiar with Rosa Parks? Okay, Edgar, tell me about Rosa. How do you know her?
I've heard on TV.
You heard about her on TV. What do you know about her?
That she is a person who spoke for some of black people.
Okay, so she was a civil rights activist. Yes, very. Okay, Savvy, do you know what she did? She's really, really famous for?
She stood up against, when she was on the train, it said, only white people, and she went to sit in the only white people section because she got tired of having to.
Yes, she was riding the bus, and in the bus, African Americans could only sit in the back. They could not sit in the front, and so she was tired of it. So she said, I'm going to prove my point. Okay, so you are connecting those two, the poem and the story, the poem and the video together. Okay.
I read another book that was called Back of the Bus, the chick about it was
Mhm.
back of the bus already.
So what kind of connection would you make? we talked about different scenes in the novel that have used, the author used the literary device foreshadowing. What were those scenes?
Whenever Walona said to Byron, if you light another match, then I'll burn you.
Okay, so then that was a hint that what was he going to do?
I'm gonna light a match.
He was going to light a match, and what was Mama going to do?
Burn her.
We were going to get to watch her burn him. Okay, what is another one? Think about what we've read this week that is an example of foreshadowing.
Byron's laughing, so he's having a good time.
No, what? That's just, you're just making an inference. I want to know, like, foreshadowing. The author is giving us hints about something that's going to happen. One?
They're going to Birmingham.
Okay, what was the event? What happened that hinted that they were actually going to go to Birmingham?
My mom writing a little note, a little checklist,
Before that?
the title.
Yeah.
Dylan.
The mom and the dad doing unusual things that they like never do.
Okay, what were those unusual things?
Dad was trying to fix up the car.
Yes.
And the mom was writing letters and writing checks.
And what was like the major hint? You're right. It was like a big hint, Sarah. The phone call. Mama calls Grandma Sands and they're talking, and we can't really hear what Grandma Sands is saying, can we? But we can hear what Mama is saying. We can infer what Grandma Sands is saying. But that was foreshadowing that they were actually going to take the trip to Birmingham. Okay, what about a conversation that Dad had this week? For a minute, let me hear from you. What is a conversation that Dad had this week that foreshadowed an event? He had it at the gas station. Who was he talking to at the, or maybe not the gas station, but the tire store?
Oh.
What was that guy's name he was talking to?
Mr. Robin?
Mr. Robert's Grandma Sam's friend.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know his name.
Leilani? Mr. Johnson. Okay, what did he say to Mr. Johnson? Kelby, what did he go and ask Mr. Johnson? Okay, he said, hey, Mr. Johnson, you think this brown bomber can make it all the way, right? And what did Mr. Johnson say?
As long as the water's still going, or as long as you're awake, or
What did
As
he
long
say?
as you can handle it.
Okay, if you can,
She can.
No, he said that the brown bomber could make it, but he said, can you make it?
yes, okay. So listen, what you're gonna do is, just like a comic strip that you would see in the news, this is what you're gonna do here. You would draw the picture of the person speaking in the scene. But first, we want you to concentrate on the dialogue, okay? So you might say, hey, do you think the brown bomber can handle it? Okay? And then Mr. Johnson says, yes, okay? You don't have to write the dialogue from the chapter word for word. Just write the gist of it, okay?
Yes.
Do we have to write it related to the book?
Yes, it has to be related to the book. Okay, then you have novel activities. The novel activities is identifying figurative language. On our test, every Friday, we have figurative language on our test that relates to the Watsons, where you have to identify, is it a simile? Is it a metaphor? Is it a hyperbole? You also have to do it in your literary luminary, so you should be very familiar with it. The only 4 figurative languages that you have to use or identify are hyperbole, simile, metaphor, and personification. What would be a good resource for this activity? Your journal. You can carry it with you so that you can go back and see. A hyperbole is an extreme exaggeration. And then finally, you have table talk, which is with me, and then reader's response. Your reader's response this week is, there are many references in the book to racism, hatred, and violence exhibited during the Civil Rights Movement. How how would you feel if you were separated from your peers or denied their rights because of your physical characteristics or your beliefs? So, that's the first question. What is your opinion? How would you feel if you were separated because of your religion? So if they said, Miss Buck, you can't go to this school, or you can't go to this restaurant because of your religion, you're not allowed to go in, how would I feel, or how would you feel? Do we use the word sad? No, that is not a 6th grade word. Think of better words. You can use the dictionary to help you out with it. Disappointed, yes. That's wonderful.
I would just go in anyway.
Oh, okay.
I would have rage.
Rage. Oh, love it. That's a wonderful word. Someone said empty earlier, and I thought that was a wonderful word. Yes, Dylan.
I'd go and stay on them.
Okay. Explain then. So, what, and then the second question, what are ways that diversity makes our lives better? What is diversity?
Dividing.
Different.
How they divide you from the others. How you're separate.
Okay. So, maybe how you're different from others? So, am I different from you, Philip?
I mean,
Am I different from you?
you got different hair colors.
Yeah, exactly. You're a boy. Dylan.
Yes, because you're older and much taller.
Thanks. Okay, so our diversity, we have all different diversity. If we were all the same, how would our life be? We would not be able to learn from each other. We would have the same opinions. And so, diversity makes us stronger. So the question is, what are ways that diversity makes us stronger? And you will explain that. So this is a 2-part question.
One thing I want to specify is diversity is not just physical characteristics. Some of us are getting confused. It's not just the physical attributes that we have, like she has long hair, I have brown hair. It's, what'd you say?
It could be mental.
Mental. So we all have different intellectual abilities, right? Okay, so we're all different in here intellectually. What else did you say? You said another one. Not you? Emotional. Emotional. Okay, so we all have different emotional abilities. Athletic. We come from different cultures, different ethnicities. Do we all have the same religion?
Yeah.
Do we all have the same political beliefs? No. Okay, so that is diversity, not just physical. Okay?
It's pretty much saying that we're all unique, kind of.
We all, yes, absolutely. So how does all of that, how does diversity make our lives better? In which ways can it make our lives better? You're gonna write it. You're gonna respond. I can write it.
Okay, who is group 1? Okay, y'all will be with me. Table talk, word work, and then independent reading. Group 2. Writing, table talk, and then word work. Group 3. Novel activities, writing, table talk. Group 4. Independent reading, novel activities, writing. Group 5. Word work, independent reading, and novel activities. Don't forget about the push light at table talk. If it is on, you need to ask other groups before you come ask me.